Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Bhoopesh. Hope you're doing perfectly well. So today we're gonna talk about another interesting session on how to store production-based Prometheus matrices so that the high availability can be achieved. So let's start. We'll be talking about Thanos today. How to do that? We can simply let me see whether the recording is on properly. Yes. Okay, so we'll be discussing how to set up Thanos. Now, what is Thanos? Thanos is highly scalable to store, Prometheus matrices, and then you can store the Prometheus matrices for production-based deployment into S3, Minio, or any other data source, or for that matter, to Azure data source also. Now, why I'm taking this consideration because I have been asked how to store Prometheus, the time series database or time series data into a production based scenario. So let's do the Thanos setup today on to the Docker based environment. And next session we'll talk about how to set up Thanos on Kubernetes based environment. So quickly let's jump onto the practical implementation of it. So this is a very beautiful screen, desktop for from New York. Anyway, so I have EC2 already running where I'll be setting up Thanos, and I have created a S3 bucket into my Asia Pacific region called as Prometheus matrices bucket 1. And then I'll be connecting my data from that instance to the S3 bucket, and then we'll see how we can store our production data uh, from Prometheus to ultimately to Thanos and how to configure it. So I have a GitHub page to follow along with this, which we'll be using in our today's session, so that you can, simply come here and then mimic this lecture onto your environment. Okay. So this is the documentation that we'll be following it today, and then let's get started. So I have already created as three bucket. You don't need to create anything; just simply create that bucket, and automatically the underneath directories and folders will get created automatically. Now let's follow the documentation. There is simply one Docker based Docker compose file which you need to run. And what this Docker compose file is doing, first of all, it will run a Prometheus onto your machine. It will pull a Prometheus latest image, and then it will let me show you the Docker compose file from the machine only so that it becomes more clarity. Yeah. So this is Docker compose file I'm talking about. So I have this. I'll be pasting it into my GitHub page also. So I'm installing my Prometheus. This is Prometheus.yaml, which I am picking it from the same location, right? And mounting it on inside that EC2 instance. And I'm saying please have this block duration of every 2 minutes. The data will go from Prometheus to Thanos and into S3 basically. And this is the port where Prometheus will run. Now Thanos will run as a sidecar which will actually grab the data from Prometheus. You see Prometheus URL, which will grab the data from Prometheus, okay? And then ultimately it will store the data into Thanos. And what are the configuration that Thanos will store, where it will store the data? It is captured in object store .yaml. And I'm just telling you this is the, and this will be exploring putting into these two ports 10.9.1, 10.9.2. Now let me see the object store YAML. This is the Prometheus, sorry, S3 bucket that I've created it in this region. These are the access key and secret key that you need to create. I'll delete this, don't use it. And then if you don't want to pass the secret key and access key like this, you can pass it as an environment variable also, or you can create in terms of secret if it's a Kubernetes, right? So Prometheus is up, Thanos sidecar is up now. Thanos store is something which will take the data to the S3. Thanos query is responsible for querying the data into your with Grafana, right? That we will configure as a 10905, which will add it as a Grafana data source. Then Grafana finally we are running it another Grafana service where we can simply add Prometheus Thanos into our as a data source. You can see I am adding this Thanos query as a data source. Perfect. Now, what do we have in Prometheus.yaml, which is interesting to understand? I am having the Prometheus is monitoring itself, the Prometheus. And I think I should have the node exporter also, if I am not wrong. Let me see if I have node exporter. Cat of Prometheus dot YAML. So yeah, so I'm just monitoring my Prometheus itself instance. So it will be giving some kind of queries, and these are the certain labels that I need to give it default labels, and these are certain X script, interval script, all these things. So that is pretty much I have done the all the explanation of Docker Compose everything. Now let me run the Docker Compose file, and then we'll see whether the Thanos sidecar is really uploading the data or not. So I'll just copy this command. I'll go back to my machine, and then I'll run this Docker Compose file. So it has actually executed Prometheus, Thanos sidecar, Thanos store, Thanos query, Thanos, Grafana. Let me see if it is uploading data. So yeah, you can see the successfully loaded Prometheus version successfully loaded. So let me see the Docker logs. Prometheus, is there any error? There are no errors. Docker logs, uh, Thanos sidecar, which is responsible for sending the data to S3. So it has created this block. Every 2 minutes, this will take the block and then send it to the S3. Okay. THA Thanos, sorry, Docker logs, Grafana container. No error here. Okay, perfect. So I think things are really fine. Let me grab the public IP of this EC2 instance, and then let's play around with the ports. I've already opened the port. I'm assuming the ports are already open. I'll do 3000, which is my Grafana. Yes, the 3000 port is already open. This is a public IP. You can put any of your local host also if you're running everything onto your machine. I normally give demos on proper EC2 instance so that it becomes still clear how to see the data and how to grab the data using DNS also. Admin is okay. 1 second. What I'm giving. So maybe then password is change. Yes, 123 was the password, which I changed last time. Let me go back. Let me see the database is already there or not. Uh, my Prometheus Thanos is already there. Let me see. Yeah, this is the 10905 is the one which is getting the data. So we need to add, this is for querying the data into the Thanos directly, which I've already given. I will do save and test. Hopefully it should run. Okay, and it should, redirect me to the Prometheus data automatically, right? So it is taking some time. Let me pause the video. Okay, the minor change that I need to do is to change the IP. So public IP is this one, which we just saw, 182.9. Now it is getting connected. Let me change the IP of Prometheus also. Yeah, Prometheus is where it is getting the data. Okay, yes, yes. Let me go back. Let me click on to the explore section and let's see the data from both Prometheus as well as from Thanos. So yeah, this is what I have explained it here. It should get connected. Let me run some magic query. Let me see whether what kind of data is coming from my EC2 instance. Right. So I'll just run this. So this is coming from Prometheus. I'm hitting some data. Yes, I'm getting 586 matrices. Can I get the same data from Thanos also? Potentially, yes. You should also get the same data from Thanos. So Thanos is something, it is creating buckets here. So if you click the S3, your production-based data is coming here, you see. And whatever you are now doing, the chunks of data is coming here only. You see, this is the first chunk of data that is being coming. It is all encrypted. So that is how it will create bucket and folders automatically. You don't need to worry about it. So that is a very quick understanding how Thanos work. Thanos is actually a mediator which will take your data, transform your data from Prometheus and then send it to S3. for better storage. It is maybe for, a stateful set of production based applications. So we'll be doing on Kubernetes maybe next time, not today. So I would take a pause. If you have any doubts and queries, please put down in the comment section. And last but not the least, do not forget to like and subscribe the channel, which I always say. And if you need any more sessions on Thanos other than Kubernetes, please put down into the comment section. I'll be taking another session on Kubernetes. That's it. If you need any more, put down in the comment section. And then, yeah, let's see in our next session what we're going to do. Thank you for now. Bye bye.